So I got this comment because I said, truthfully, I would drink water even if it weren't filtered because this girl grew up drinking water from a hose. And here's my reasoning for that. And this is a case of you can do everything to the extreme, right? So like you can say, I'm never going to eat sugar again. I'm never going to eat anything that I don't make myself from scratch. I'm never going to eat out again. I'm never going to. But some of the extremes are at a detriment to the health of the entire group. And let me explain that. I'm part of a group on a different platform where we give case studies and talk about them and try and help support each other on best next steps in difficult cases. And in that group, it has been decided that everyone should be drinking distilled water because it is the cleanest. And by far, it is the absolute cleanest. However, case study posted for a 7-year-old girl whose mom put a water distillation filter on the entire home. So showers, sinks, all the water in the home is being distilled and then run through the pipes. Probably great for the pipes because there's no minerals running through them, but also distilled water means that there are no minerals coming into you. And again, if we talk about the video that I talked about with hydration, one of the problems with hydration is that you need the proper electrolyte and mineral balance in order to have a hydrated cell. Well, one of the things that distilled water does is it will pull all of the minerals it can into it to create a better balance in the system, which means that it's demineralizing you in every aspect: muscle, nerve, bone, teeth, demineralizing you. So this mom posts a case study and says she has a 7-year-old girl who has lost most of her teeth. The ones that she hasn't lost, she has cavities on. Her hair is falling out, and she hasn't grown in 6 months. And my first question was, do you drink distilled water, and are you remineralizing it? And her response back was, this is my daughter. And I said I was sure it was. But you didn't answer the question. And I think you're purposefully avoiding. When we take everything to extreme, we can also damage the health of not only ourselves, but the people around us in our immediate vicinity. And this woman basically has created a severe vitamin and mineral deficiency in not only herself, but in her children by insisting that the whole house have distilled water. She is remineralizing her water with the supplement packs that come from the filtration company, which I don't think are high quality. But the children won't drink them because they make the water taste funny. And she hasn't found a way around it. And she has no way to solve this problem. So if you're looking for the absolute best water filtration system, it's water distillation. But then you have to be willing to do all of the things in order to make that water not damage you. And most people are not willing to do that. In order to save her own health, she has damaged permanently the bones and teeth of her children. And her husband has had 2 broken bones in the last year too. The drinking water, whether it's filtered or not, is because at some point you have to decide how extreme you're going to be about your health. And yes, if you live in an area where the drinking water is not a good, viable source of water, you should absolutely do things to protect yourself against that. But if I have to make a choice between drinking the water out of the tap or not drinking water, you can bet I'm drinking water out of the tap. Part of that is knowing that there are other things I can do to bind out the toxins. Part of that is knowing that I don't have to make it this complicated. And if I were to put a water distillation feature in, it would only be on the sinks where we are getting drinking water from. It would not be the whole house. Because even putting it on your shower head and on your bathroom tap and all of that stuff, you end up with minerals being leached out of your skin. So again, you can make being healthy as complicated or as simple as you want. It all depends on what your risk tolerance is and what your risk tolerance is for the people around me. There is no way I would do something that would put the permanent bone, teeth, and hair health of my children or my husband at risk. There's no way I would do that. For some people, they're at the other extreme of I'm willing to do that, and I'm then also willing to say this is not my fault when it happens. Understanding that every choice that you make has a consequence is part of understanding how simple and how complicated you want to make your health journey and your life journey. And for me, I would rather take a charcoal binder specific for environmental threats. I would rather do a parasite cleanse once a quarter. I would rather do a liver detox once a quarter than worry about exactly how perfect my water is. Incidentally, if you're thinking, well, what do I do about a water filter if distilled water is that much effort and I don't want to do that? Again, all kinds of systems, all kinds of things you can do. My best advice, just get a good charcoal filter. I don't know how many of you have seen the video of where somebody literally charcoal filter. They take vodka and pour it through a charcoal filter, and it literally tastes like water when it's done. It cleans out all of that potent garbage and makes it taste like water. It doesn't get rid of the fact that it is fermented and it is alcohol, but it changes the flavor that much, so it's purifying it that much that you can get most things with a charcoal filter. Now, if you're going to use a Brita pitcher to filter, great, but then maybe transfer it to a glass bottle.